This is a brief video to introduce you to the college's Xvive U5T5 wireless radio mics that are specifically designed for DSLR cameras to record to. I'm going to talk you through what you have in a pack. We supply the audio equipment with all the items within a small little packet like this, and I'm just going to talk you through what's in them. Within the pack, we like to include a set of manuals to remind you, if you happen to be out in the field, about how to use them if you've forgotten. We've got 2 USB cables because these are rechargeable batteries only. You do not put any batteries inside them. Now, also within the pack, you have 3 other items. These are the most important, of course. You have one item, which is called the receiver. This receives the audio content from 2 transmitters. This is one transmitter, this is another. These are connected to lapel microphones that you put on your waist. I'm using one right now. And they can have one of 6 different channels. At the moment, this one is set up for channel 5 and this one is set up for channel 6. The one I'm using at the moment on talking to you now is set up for channel 2. I've just introduced you there. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about how to use the equipment. So let's break these down. We'll start off by talking about the receiver. The receiver has a attachment on here which we connect up to the camera, which I'll show you later. It has a cable port here which we plug in a mini jack cable which comes with the system, and we plug it in like this, securely in. We plug the other end of the cable into the mic socket on your DSLR. In order to use the system, we have an on-off switch just here. So we just pull that down, hold it for a second, and it turns on. You know it's turned on because all the information lights up on the lovely little monitor just here. I'll talk through what's being shown at the moment. In the middle is really handy. It shows us the battery, how much battery power we've got. At the moment, this one has 3 of 4, so it's still a lot of charge. It has at the top a CH5 and a CHC. This refers to the channel the receiver is set up to receive the microphone from. At the moment, we've got channel 5, and if I want to change it, I press this button right here. And you can see the number changing. Channel 1, 2 is the one I'm using at the moment on a different system. Channel 3, channel 4, and channel 5. I'm going to leave it on channel 5 because I know one of the microphones is set for channel 5. I am going to be showing you in a moment. Below that, you'll see it says plus 0 dB and plus 0 dB. This one is referring to the sensitivity, how we can adjust the audio levels within the receiver, which is very, very handy. So if I was recording, I can actually listen with my headphones and see that the audio level may be a bit too low or a bit too high on the channel 5 or channel 6. And I literally just turn the button there and it adjusts the sensitivity up or down. The recording I'm doing right now, I'm recording this manually, audio manually, on the DSLR, which is a 90D, Canon 90D. It is set for -15, which is working out to be a very good audio level. So you have to make sure that you get your best audio level, not too low and not too high. So you may find that one person on channel 5 is very loud. So you might have to turn down the audio to say -2. And then you may find that the other person on channel 6 is very quiet. So you might have to increase the dB, the sensitivity, so that the audio levels are as perfect as you can get. Okay, so that is the receiver's main functions. The other thing it has on the top here, it has S and M, stereo and mono. This is very, very handy to use if you're using, which I'm doing today, using one microphone. If you push that button there down to M, it will make that one microphone channel a stereo channel. It's not really a stereo, but it makes it sound like a stereo, so it's in channel left and right, all at the same time. So that's very handy. If you're using two microphones, you must make sure that this stays in S, so that you have left and right, so that they do not merge. Okay? So that's the receiver. Now, I want to use this receiver with a microphone. So let's just grab one from over here. Now, let's go through the mic. So I'll put that just to one side. Both of our mics come with a lapel microphone, which you connect up to your shirt or top, like I've got at the moment. You basically leave them connected in. They have a screw fit, which unscrews. You do not need to undo these, so take care of them. You push it back in, screw it back in, and it's a very good solid connection. The other end of the microphone has an attachment which allows you to clip it onto a top quite easily. Okay? In order to use the radio mic, we have the on-off switch again, just on the side. We pull that down, hold it for a second, and then it turns on. Now you'll notice when I turn it on, I get a green light on the receiver, confirming that this channel 6 microphone is now connected and is receiving the information on the receiver, which it can transfer straight over to your camera. Okay? Now, on here, it does have several buttons again. Let's talk you through them. It has the first one. Let's try and get that in shot. It has the first one, which is the mute button. So if you have a point during the recording where you do not want to be heard anymore, as you are offset for a bit, you can just press that button in once and it mutes it. There you go. And it gives you a nice red light to remind you that that audio is muted. You can undo that one. Next, you can change the dB, the settings for the sensitivity. You can plus it and minus it, just like that. And when I do plus and minus, let's see if I can get it for you to see, you can change, it changes the number on there as well. Yeah? Oh, sorry, I just pressed the channel one as well. Let's get it back to channel 6. So you can plus and minus it to change the sensitivity. I would suggest personally that you do it on the receiver, because I think it's far easier, and leave this one on 0, because the person recording can adjust it themselves and they should have control, I think. So I'm just going to leave this one on 0 dB. Now the other thing that I inadvertently pushed on there was the channel. As I said, this one is set up for channel 6. If I push that button there, it'll change to whichever, channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back to 6, like that. And as you can see, when I change it, you will see the receiver green change. When I go over to channel 5, it's green. When I go over to channel 6, it's green. It's confirming this is now set for channel 6. So this is now set up, as you can see, to channel 6. I'll just put this one a bit to one side. Let's pull out the other one. Again, I have the on-off switch just here. Pull that down, hold it for a second, and then it's turned on. And we've got another confirmation green light on here saying that it is connected to this channel 5 transmitter microphone. Now we're going to connect up our receiver to our camera. This particular one is a Nikon D5600, and as I said earlier, we need to connect it into the hot shoe on the top and then put it into the port at the back for a microphone. So it's the same as attaching a flash gun. We carefully put it on the top, then we screw it in. just to make sure it's secure and it won't fall off or anything. I still have my microphones connected up here, so I know my audio is good. And on the side, we have the ports to connect them in. This one is the middle one for this camera, and that one is for the microphone specifically. And then we literally just click it in. That now is connected. Please make sure this is pushed in at all times. I have done filming shots before and not realized that this has pulled out, and it's really affected my audio quality because the camera reverted back to the in-house microphone. So it's really bad quality. So you have to make sure that is connected at all times, both ends, just to check them ever so often before you start recording. Okay? Now, we're going to turn on the camera and we'll flip it over to the live view mode, and we press the menu button and scroll down to you get to the movie settings. Press OK. Now, when you scroll down to the audio part, microphones, on this camera, you'll see it has 3 different settings for us to control the audio. The one at the moment is the auto setting. You can see my audio going up and down there. The auto setting is pretty good. I mean, on the whole, it can be very, very accurate. But the problem with using the auto setting is that when there is a silence in between the talking, the camera will automatically boost the audio level to being higher. So you get a bit of a hiss noise. And then if the person then starts talking, the camera suddenly realizes, oh, it's too loud. And it will quickly, as fast as it can, lower the audio level in order to bring down the auto setting so that the audio sounds right again. I would strongly recommend that you do not rely on the auto setting because of the hiss noise. So if I was filming right now and I were to stop talking for a second, the audio level automatically, you didn't see it in the actual levels just there, the audio level will be boosted up, and you'd notice it when you come to editing. Okay, so for general use, it will probably be just fine. But if you're trying to get some really good audio recording of people talking, I personally would recommend you use the manual one. So I'm just going to click it on the screen just here. Now, when using the manual setting, you have to make sure that you get your audio levels right, which is exactly what I'm doing on this camera right now when I'm doing my audio. I have that on manual. I can see my audio levels as I'm talking to you, and I'd recommend you do the same. And when you are getting your audio levels, you have to make sure that you don't go into the red. I have to try and talk a bit louder there so you can hear it. Let's just get it over. You have to make sure it doesn't go in red. And as you can see, the audio is too loud in the red level there, so I need to bring down the audio level and reduce it so that both audios are just in the yellow there, and that makes sure that the audio level stays good and usable. Not too loud, as it goes up really loud there, you see. Okay, so if I was to plus it up, you'll see how loud it can go. At 20, you get totally unusable audio level. It is so loud. So you have to reduce this one down. Let's bring it down a bit. Oh, it's still a bit too much. There, I think that's pretty good just then. And when you are practicing your audio levels, I strongly recommend the person you are talking to talks in their natural voice that they're going to use during that recording, and you rehearse with them and get your audio levels perfect before you actually do the main recording.